Ship will self-destruct in 20 seconds. This is your last chance to push the cancellation button.
Cancellation button? Hurry!
Where is it? Where is it?
It's gonna be here.
Out of order! Fuck! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding.
There's the other end! Faster!
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Don't touch that dial. It's Leo Valdez
Give him the skibbity paps.
and Hunter Horn
We're gonna need a wood motel.
with your pregame warm-up.
Yo, DJ, drop that beat.
Pick of the week, they be deadlocks. Most of these shows is dead wrong. PGW for the W. 100 count bands on his bed top. On our podcast, getting topped off. Swinging this stick like it's top golf. I'ma bust in the face. Then I'ma read you a verse. For Philippians verse. Put the cash in your purse.
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the pre-game warm-up.
Yeah, I'd first like to apologize for what's on the ticker. We are actually expecting and hoping that you guys can spread the word and us being able to have and collect contributions. We are we are welcoming them via PayPal. we're welcoming them via
Biden inflation been killing us.
We are welcoming them at PayPal at Bold Lion 42. Now, why Bold Lion? Well, because my name is Leonardo, and not everybody can spell that. So Bold Lion is basically the definition, and it's not just going to me. It's going to everything we do here at the Lodge, which helps all of our shows, everything that we're doing. And as you can tell, the ticker up above me is going to give us the score to the Knicks and the Heat game while we talk. And Hunter, I gotta say, Miami is proving that they're not just a team that slid by the Bucks, but they were more dominant than the Bucks, and now it looks like they are just pistol whipping these dang Knicks, bro. Tell me, bro.
It's Brunson, man. He's not playing well. I think that was the guy who was supposed to, be, I guess, the Knicks' Jimmy Butler. He's supposed to put the team on his back and, take the Knicks all the way to the Eastern Conference Final, I guess. But the Heat have other plans for that. The Heat and their 7 undrafted friggin' players, along with Jimmy Butler and Bam. I really think they put their foot down on them tonight, Leo. And then that's that.
Yeah, I fully agree. I'm looking at the Knicks, and I'm like, why in the world are you guys you stop? Where's this? Why? What's with? It's not even like a pause. It's just like they just hit a wall and they were done. And Brunson decided he wasn't going to get. Now it's not to discredit the Heat's defense, but the Heat really don't have to try. Honestly,
well, we knew that Knicks were in trouble when they almost lost when Jimmy Butler was out in that game 2 at home. You know, like if they were going to win a game and make a statement, like a 20, 30-point win, it would have been that game. The fact that they barely won that game already lets you know that the Knicks are in trouble. I like the Heat, man. I like the Heat to go to the next round. I like them to take on Boston, and I really think that's going to be another 7-game series. But then the Heat, I think they gentlemen sweep the Knicks out in 5 before the Knicks start catching fire, because the Knicks haven't played well either, Leo. That's the thing. The Knicks are overdue for shots. Like, if the Knicks were playing good, and the Heat were still beating them, I might tell you, okay, the Knicks are done for. This is going to be over in 5. The Heat can play with their food, whatever. That's not the case. The Knicks are missing shots that they usually make. So if Brunson comes on and all these other guys come on and they start making their shots, the Heat are in trouble. So the Heat need to snuff out any hope the Knicks have, and they need to win this game 4 at home, go back on the road, and quickly move on to the Eastern Conference Final and get Jimmy the rest that he needs.
Yeah, no, I do think that the Heat at this point, they have to put the foot to the throat of the Knicks, finish this out as fast as possible within 5, because if not, then I think I mean, people don't realize it. To attest to Jimmy's greatness, one of the things that you can think about it is the fact that how do I say this in the nicest possible way? Jimmy's actually playing on a bad ankle, and playing as great as he is on a bad ankle will only get you so far. So you have to remember, after this, they've got either the Celtics or the Sixers, and those teams, I mean, they're not the Knicks. The Knicks are good on offense. Their defense is lacking for the better. I have no idea why they are suffering so badly. That's going to be down to coaching having to figure that one out. But as far as the Heat, yeah, they may have taken out the Bucks, but like I said, it's the Celtics game really, and the Sixers. I mean, they look good even though Embiid himself is hurt as well. So all four of these teams, well, no, all three of these teams. F the Knicks. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. I will honestly say that the three teams, the Heat, the Bucks, and the Sixers, I mean, the Celtics are the only team that's not as beat up, but I mean, there's a lot of injuries to go around. But if Jimmy is expected to carry this team, they're going to have to give him the rest. If this goes to 7 games, it's going to do Jimmy more harm than good. That's for sure.
For sure. Like I said, the Heat can't mess around. They have to finish off the Knicks, give Jimmy the rest, move on for a tough Eastern Conference final. I think it could be even tougher than last year's, where they were only, one Jimmy Butler shot away from going to the finals. I think it's going to be more of a dogfight this year. You got both James Harden and Embiid on one side with the Sixers, and you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown with the Celtics. Neither team I really don't want to play.
That's
but,
right.
Yeah, it's part of sports.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the more complete team, the team that could do the most damage are the Celtics, but where the Celtics hurt the most is the fact that they are terrible at 3-point range. What Harden and Embiid are doing for Philadelphia right now is good, and we'll talk about that right now. Let's talk about that series. Right now, as it stands, I believe the Celtics and the Sixers, it's the Celtics are 2-1 on that one, I believe.
Correct.
And I just think, honestly, in sheer terms of what we're expected to see, I can't take away from the fact that I think that the Celtics are just not taking advantage of Embiid as much as they should. I think they're kind of like they're kind of like taking their time. They are playing with their food in this case, which they shouldn't do, because if they have to play Jimmy next, it's going to be tough.
Well, you know what? Yes and no, because without that little James Harden resurgence, Boston is very easily up in this series 3-0.
True. I
think the Sixers have been underperforming, but I look at them to get back on pace, and get this series back to even, and I really see them taking Boston 6-7 games.
All right, thanks for that, J-Rod. I appreciate it. So yes, it is 2-2 actually, and that's the thing.
You led me down the wrong rabbit hole here, Leo.
I know, I can't help myself. But the truth is that in this game, that's why I say I think that the Celtics are playing with their food. Jaylen Brown, he could do a lot more. I mean, Harden is able to lock him up, but honestly, it's going to stand on Tatum. Horford is going to have to do a whole lot more down in the paint. But the fact is that if the Celtics get their 3-point game, this is where they have to get it. Because if they get it, they take the next 2 away. That's it, and the series is over.
Absolutely. And speaking 2-2 tied series, how about we kick it over to the West? And we got the Suns and the Nuggets, man.
Yeah, I love the Joker, man. He's doing his thing. Denver being such an offensive team, this has been just an offensive. It is an offensive series in a way, because there has been no defense really from both teams. And Booker, man, Devin Booker for the Suns, he's doing his thing. Say again? No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, absolutely. Devin Booker's been carrying the Suns right now because KD's been struggling. Not the worst stats, but definitely not Durantula.
Where's your Durantula? Where is he, dude?
Exactly. Where's the Durantula? Well, that's what they got Devin Booker for. That's he's there to carry when KD can't.
Well, the Suns
I
have
see
to
the
do
Suns
something because if the
eliminating the
Suns
Nuggets.
don't win this series, they are done. They
I see the
basically
Suns.
have to like pick this team up to pieces.
Listen, 5 days ago when it was 2-0, I seriously was looking and I was like, man, the Suns, they lose this game 3, it's over. That's it. But they
Listen,
got back in there.
it's not that KD has been struggling. It has not. He
Not
has.
struggling
I'm not.
stat wise, but he hasn't been the it factor. Devin Booker's been more of the it
Yeah,
factor.
yeah. Sorry, so J. It's not that we haven't noticed that KD hasn't been doing his thing, but the fact is that KD was supposed. He's supposed to be the guy that was supposed to get them to greatness, and right now they still look
Yeah,
like
like,
they
he's
still
supposed to
look
be
like the
having
same Suns team. It's like they just added another player who can get them the
like the
same
way
amount
they
of
make
points.
it sound, he's supposed to be 40, 50 points a night. That's what I'm saying.
Actually, no, he has not been averaging 30 in the series. He was averaging 30 in with the Clippers, and I think in total his total postseason would be averaging in his 30s. But in this one, for in this series specifically, let's do some research. Let's really see that because I like being tested like that, don't you?
It is fun. It is fun.
All right, let's do that.
Let's do some research.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Why
it's
not?
all
Why not?
it's all in good fun.
As
It's
long
all
as
in
it's
good
not
fun.
about LeBron.
Oh, okay. You know what? I give you that because if it is, then I would have stopped right where I was.
How about that Lake Show, man? I see the Lake Show back in the Western Conference Final, man. That's crazy. Huh?
Really? You see
Yeah,
the
I
Lakers
think
there, man.
I see
After
them
all,
getting
after
that-
all what you've been talking.
Can I tell you why? 'Cause,
Okay, fine. I'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
listen, the NBA first off loses too much money when LeBron James is not in the playoffs. First off,
Okay.
first off, we'll start with that. They lose too much money. Second, LeBron is LeBron. I hate him off the court, but on the court, the guy is explosive, And I don't think the Warriors have all the pieces to stop everything, especially if Austin Reeves and D'Lo continue to play and support, LeBron well, like they've been doing. But it'll be interesting, man, because if Golden State is going to win this, they're going to have to really take advantage of AD.
All right.
That's just they're gonna have to take advantage of AD not playing well.
Okay.
He
So
played well
here's
well
what
the
it
previous-
was.
The previous series he played well. This series he's not playing as well.
All right. Well, I have the stats right here. All right. I want you to be able to say this, J Rod. Not averaging 30 because in game 1 he didn't make it to 30. Game 2 he definitely didn't make it to 30. And then the 2 wins that they've had, KD's actually averaged over 30 points. So he's on the average right now at 29. So it's not scrub. It's not scrub. And I don't, huh?
So 1 point, man, but it matters. Almost only counts court shoes.
But it is not to say that he's not a contributor into the Suns and what they're doing and how they're winning. But more can be expected. The thing is that like we do expect not just over 30, but in reality, where he is hurting the most. And I'll tell you this right now. Where they lose is when he or where they have their biggest struggle is when he is low on assists. He is not really passing the ball. Games where they've won, he is over 5 assists. But in games that they have lost, he basically tries to do. His averages are actually pretty low. His field goal percentage in game 2 was 37% shooting from field goal range and 16% from downtown. So it's to say those are where he is supposed to be at. Oh, look at that. He's trying to do mathematics.
Hey, Rod,
He's trying to do mathematics.
today,
You see
man.
that?
Jay's
Oh,
after
my
you,
goodness.
man.
Okay. If I'm man, you're gonna make me sit here and pull out and whip out my calculator. All right. You
All right, so then
you
add them
love
all
your
up and
KD,
divide by
but
4,
but I don't know if I think right here, definitely drinking on the job. Been doing that since this morning. Yeah, I had to. Well, no, I would say it's not to say that, and I'm not saying he's not doing bad. He's just not. He's not being the leader he was brought in to be for the Suns. That's the thing. That it has been Booker being the show for the Suns. He's been the guy that's not he's carrying the team, not like Jimmy carries the Heat, right? It's not like and no offense, and nobody in the West can really do that. Nobody in the West can really do that.
I don't think of KD. I think of Devin Booker.
Yeah, right.
That's all. That's what I'm saying. But struggling for KD, yeah, it's those low 30s. That 39-point game, though, he went off, all of that stuff. I need 40 plus, man.
Well, I don't even think, honestly, it's not points that gets me on him. It's assists, which means and if you look at his actual, you're looking at the point average compared to the shot percentage. In other words, he's making less. He could be making more shots, or he could be opening more up by giving the ball to guys that will make the open look. In other words, he's not spreading the ball around, and he's missing a lot of high percentage shots. That's not consistent with KD. He tends to make high percentage shots, and he does tend to give the ball around. He's not doing that in this series. That's what I'm saying.
I like that thing. I like that thing.
I'm just getting it today, man. It's okay. I love you. It's love.
Man.
It's love. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Getting it. Did you see that? We happened to get the NFL schedule today.
I don't know about going over that. Let's finish up real quick. Let's finish up. You think you said the Lakers weren't going to make it past the first round of the playoffs. Now you have them go to the Western Conference Finals. I just want to get something straight here. All right. Some people have said it's not really indicative on LeBron, but more on Anthony Davis. We'll get there. All right. And some people say that it's not really on Steph more than it is on Draymond. Who do you think is going to be the determining factor between the Warriors and the Lakers?
LeBron James.
You think it's okay? So you think that if they lose, it falls on him.
The Warriors do win,
and if they win, it also falls on him.
No, if the Warriors do win, it's because Stephen Curry heated up, and he's just lights out from downtown again.
Okay. All right. I think it actually hinges on Green versus AD. As I kind of agree with some of the experts in saying that is really that's the matchup that matters. Depending on how that matchup goes, really affects everybody else around. I think LeBron. I mean, he's. You know what? Just for the sake of it, I think one of the top-notch things he did after they beat the Warriors, he came out and he said, "I don't care about this win. I care about the fact that Bronny's going to USC."
Poor kid, man. Of all the colleges, that's a terrible one, man. I don't think he probably took like a tour of the campus yet first, where they're like, "Listen, man, you stay inside the college. You don't cross the street. If you cross the street, bad things happen to you."
All right. But I am glad that he was able to celebrate his son's victory. Or his son's choice in going to college, where he didn't do that. He went straight from high school to the pros. So Bronny would actually be the first James to go to college. So
he would be college educated.
That's right, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But as far as the series goes, I don't really think it hinges on LeBron. I think it hinges more on AD versus Draymond. I think that's the matchup there that's going to give or take on this series. Well, are you ready? All right. So really quick, guys, everybody, just before we go, don't forget you can always give us a follow here at the pregame warm up on YouTube, and you can also listen to sometimes if you catch it, if you hear the whispers, you'll sometimes catch the mid-daily check-in, which is some Hunter does every now and again. But we're gonna probably move that, shake that from a political show to be we still want to bring some more sports to you guys. So we've talked about maybe bringing in a bet ticker for you guys as well, to let you know what the bets are at the midday. So, we're trying to give you guys a little bit more content, but at the same time, we don't want to inundate you with hours of us,
Exactly. Trust me. Yeah. You can only take this pretty face for so long.
That's right. And then, of course, I do the Lions Den every morning at 6 at 7 a.m. Central Standard, 8 a.m. Eastern, and you can catch me at Foundation 7356 on YouTube as well, here on the pregame warm-up channel as well. So we're gonna move it on to hockey.
About time.
I know, right? Listen,
Right?
I think that the entire sports world is completely and utterly in shock that the Panthers are dominating the Leafs, man. And you know what? It's shocking to me, but in reality, Hunter, it's not shocking to you.
I told everybody. I told you all. Panthers were built for postseason success. I told you this a week before the season ended. I said the Panthers are going to make a run. It's nothing but big dudes that like to hit. This is another Washington Capitals team with just minus Ovechkin. We got Matthew Tkachuk. We got Matthew Tkachuk instead.
Yeah.
And I told everybody, Hunter, you don't know shit about shit, man. You don't know
You don't know nothing about nothing.
Any fat nerd can play goalie. You don't know nothing about nothing. Slowly, the Panthers are showing everybody that Barry Jr. knows what he's talking about.
Well, I think that when it came to the Boston series and them playing, I mean, was what considered the best team ever in the NHL.
There's been no team to ever have first offense, first defense, and first in goaltending. It's never happened. It's never happened before.
Right.
And
so you
leave these Leafs off our porch. Gotta get them off my condo porch, man. Let me tell you, I was torturing Canadian fans last night on social media. I have to be honest, it's like my little guilty pleasure, Leo. I was on there, right? I was letting them know. I was like, listen, man, the state of Florida will always be there to ruin Toronto's season.
Well, you know what? As long as Canadians keep visiting Florida and not tipping our waiters and waitresses, go for it. 100%. Right? I'm down.
This guy was like, we beat the Lightning. I'm like, yeah, you beat the old bull that was dying out in the field. And now the young, strapping bull with big old horns came and he's got him stuck up your rear end. That was my favorite. We should have had the video. We want Florida.
All right, so okay, we talked the Panthers.
We'll go ahead and get away from that one because
real quick, and we'll come back to the Panthers. But my question is, what is up with the 8-4 victory that the Devils laid out on the Hurricanes? Is that an indictment against the Hurricanes, or was that a fluke? What was that about, man?
No goaltending. Frederik Andersen does what they thought Bob was going to do, but Bob has finally shown that he's ready to play hockey.
Right.
Frederik Andersen does that. He has like 1, 2, 3 good games, and then he'll shit the fucking bed. And he shat the bed, and he stuck the backup in there, and the backup was like, if this guy was starting over me, you think I'd be any fucking better? And
right.
He shat the bed too. So, this is the Devils just getting the jump on the Canes. The Canes bench doesn't pull itself together very well. I've noticed once you get the Canes down by like 3, they go away.
So are you saying that once they get past the Leafs, that the Panthers actually, next team?
Leafs are in this thing. Oh, yeah. As long as we don't choke this away and we finish out the Leafs, the Panthers are in the Stanley Cup.
Okay. All right. That's a bold prediction, but I can see it. I mean, as bold as it is, I can definitely see that.
Exactly.
So my question, I'll ask you this one then, going to the West. Some people have the Oilers actually taking out. They're playing the Kraken or the Stars. I'm sorry, I always get them because it's the Kraken playing the Knights.
Yeah, the Kraken are playing the Stars.
Okay, so the Kraken are playing the Stars. The Oilers, the Oilers are going up against the Knights, and Connor McDavid is actually looking pretty solid. His numbers actually look really good as I'm looking at them. But I mean, in reality, did the Oilers get past the toughest part of their competition in the first round of this playoffs? Because it seemed like Connor wasn't getting anything started in the first round.
Well, first off, I'll just say that Snoop Dogg said that Connor McDavid is the best athlete in the world. I gotta kind of agree with him. He really is. And it's hard to keep the best athlete from scoring. So this was gonna happen whether or not they played a better team than they went up against in the first round.
Right.
But do the Oilers have a tough road ahead? Absolutely. Whether or not they have to play the Stars or the Kraken, both the Stars and the Kraken have a serious squad. And I'll be honest with you, Leo, watch these Kraken, man, because this is a young team that's kind of, ballsy and this and that. And all the teams left in the West, none of them are grinder teams. That's why I tell you, man, the last team left with any grit to it is on the East. But I'd say the Knights. The Knights are probably going to come out of the West, Leo. I think the Knights actually, I think the Knights actually win this series against the Oilers. I think Connor McDavid is a wonderful athlete. I think he's one of the greatest to ever do it. He can't stop the puck.
He can't eat it.
He can't stop the puck.
Well, yeah, I know that they've been struggling with goaltending.
Because listen, if you look at it, the Florida Panthers probably shouldn't be up 3-0 in the series. It should be 2-1. The Leafs are up. But the Florida Panthers goalie has stolen 2 games from the Leafs, and that's what you need. That's what the Lightning had all last 3 years, is their goaltender would steal games for them. It's what you need. Man, that Miami game's getting close, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's the first quarter's coming to an end, and yet I mean it's close now. But I think let's see where this. I think the second half really, everybody plays pretty much as much close to lights out as they can for the game. But I'm glad if it is a close game. I like close losses. I don't like these 30-point losses which have been happening between the Warriors and the Lakers, where both teams find these huge margin of victories on every single one of their wins on one side or the other.
No, absolutely. It's just good. It's good excitement, man. It's good time to be alive. It's playoff hockey, playoff basketball.
Yeah, and it's all good. I mean, in reality, everybody's at a competitive level, at a high competitive level. I mean, even though, and I'll be honest with you, even though the Leafs, and you were like, yeah, the Leafs are competing to lose, but at least they're competing. They're not laying down. They're taking their losses in stride. They're playing to the last second, and I think that's what matters in these playoffs. That nobody is really throwing in the towel. If they don't care if they're down 3-1, they're gonna keep going. They're gonna keep trying. And that's beautiful. So we've got the NFL scheduled to come out, and actually I was looking at something very interesting, Hunter. I was cruising around DraftKings because I'm trying to get everything ready for what we might be doing at the midday, and I'm looking. I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to introduce this? And I'm looking. I said, NFL. Why does the NFL have lines, have betting lines? The bet lines are in. Believe it or not, there is a higher chance that the Jets get to the playoffs at plus 1,400 to your Dolphins at plus 2,000.
That's because they're fucking Aaron Rodgers crotch sniffers. Don't even bring that up, man, dude.
Well, no, I think it stands to reason because we do talk about what the lines are, where we're going. Honestly, who we would take, why we would take. I mean, it's funny because they have the Eagles at plus 600, which is just crazy. I'm like, are you serious? Like, the Eagles are not gonna make another run. They've got the Cowboys in there at plus, I believe it was plus 1,000 above the Jets. That it was going to be easier for the Cowboys to win, not just to get to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl. That's winning the Super Bowl.
Listen, whatever they got the Dolphins at, they're just the Vegas giving away free money. Dolphins winning the Super Bowl. It's happening. It's happening. If it doesn't happen, I'll eat a hot chip on live on
really
the show.
With ghost peppers and Carolina Reapers.
I'll smoke it out the bong.
Oh man, your lungs are gonna hurt. Oh my gosh!
Live on the show. If the Dolphins don't win the Super Bowl,
Dolphins don't win the Super Bowl,
right here,
May 8th, 2023. If the Dolphins don't win the Super Bowl, I will smoke a ghost pepper.
Oof. Just the idea of like having to like take the seeds out of one
Either
just so
way,
you
we're
don't
going
like
viral.
die.
Either
Gosh.
way, we're going viral. Either
All
way,
right.
we'll go viral. Because either I'll be the analyst that called the Dolphins Super Bowl, or I'll be the fucking the guy that smoked the ghost pepper on live.
There you go. All right. Well, everybody, we're gonna let you go ahead and get back to watching the Knicks take on the Heat because I know most of our fan base is a Miami fan base. We're gonna let you guys get back to that. Enjoy it right now. It is the end of the first, so you guys will get back and get ready to watch that second quarter of gameplay. This has been Leo with Hunter saying thanks for watching your edition of the pregame warm up.
Yeah. Woohoo! Picking woman.